To the people of Great Britain, you need to heed my warning. I have been preparing you all for civil war, and things are ramping up with Starmer's government. As we know from social media and the news, there are riots all over Great Britain, and we've just had that wee girl from Scotland get arrested. A B&B owner has just come out that people are denying what he's saying. And he has come out and said that Starmer's government took over his B&B basically and has filled his B&B with AK-47 supplied to him by the army. And he's been told to keep his mouth shut. His B&B is full of illegal immigrants. People were saying that his message isn't true. But when I listened to it and I saw the codes inside it, I did a reference check with my own codes, and it appears that this man is 100% telling the truth, which means Starmer's government is arming illegal immigrants with guns. I'm going to put a link in the description box below. I'm trying not to get upset because one of the codes that I discovered was from a World Economic Forum meeting where they were openly discussing the idea that the British monarchy were basically useless and they need to be gotten rid of. So I immediately ran to the King's social media, and whoever runs his social media, I'm hoping they take this seriously, because I had said to him, I have warned him, I have warned him that they were planning to get rid of him, but this plot goes beyond people like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and that this goes to his friends in the World Economic Forum, and because people are starting to take legal action, demand justice and the cessation of the World Economic Forum, it affects the King as well. But when I discovered in my codes that I had left evidence where the World Economic Forum are openly discussing taking down the monarchy, which obviously the King at the time wasn't listening, but then I am so heavily shadow banned, it looks like I don't get any views or anything like that, but I know it's not true. It's because I'm so heavily shadow banned. They don't want people to know that my voice is getting out there and that I am being heard. But I'm going to put a link in the description box below. When you click on it, listen to the post, listen to the man's phone call, and then scroll down. And then if you want to see a miracle performed by the Virgin Mary, once again, in regards to Russia, scroll up. But for the people of Great Britain, this is about you right now. And you need to prepare, and you need to protect yourselves, and you need to be vigilant, and you need to keep your children off the streets until I can save the King. He has to wake up. The time is now for him to wake up. He has to wake up now. Otherwise, they are going to do to him what they did to the Romanovs. And then the Commonwealth is lost forever. We will never ever have our cultural or national values again, because we will become one big massive Soviet communist state. I warned the King that Starmer's government was an antichrist anarchist government. I have been pouring evidence into his social media like you wouldn't believe over the last few days, and every single thing that I said, Every single thing I investigated, every single thing I have predicted is happening right now. And the dream I had with the Queen, where she was warning us about Starmer's government just after he got into power, all of it now makes sense. The dreams are in there. When you read everything that I've posted, now it all makes sense. It is all coming in to land. And so now we need to be aware, we need to be vigilant. So you need to pass this message on, you need to pass this link on and get everybody in Great Britain to read it, because it involves all of us. It involves any of the British nations and probably even the international nations where their governments are allowing illegals to pour in, where they are putting them up in hotels and B&Bs and supplying them with everything, including weapons. Now you know why they're so protected. Now you know why they're so guarded. Now you know why they're arresting people who are questioning the B&Bs, the hotels, all of it. Now you know why. Because they are planning on using them to attack the country with weapons. They want to blame the grooming gangs. They want to blame the Muslims. They have started a holy war. And everything I said was right. Macron is on his way down. He's literally on his way out the door. We need to get rid of Starmer. And then we can build again, because they weren't planning on it. I just hope I've gotten to the king in time. I feel sick to my stomach when I saw the messages, the little keys and codes that I had been leaving behind in the past. I know that at the time people would have been like, what the hell is she talking about? She sounds nuts, blah, blah, blah. But now that it's all happening in sequence exactly how I said, from when I had the Queen's dream, the King's Army dream, the King's Law dream, I call them, now it all makes sense. And this is no joke, this is not a drill. You all need to be made aware of the fact of what your governments are planning to do. And it involves actual weapons being supplied by the military, which infuriates me. I am absolutely furious that the King's own police force, that the King's own military and the King's own government are stooping to such disgusting, sinful, abhorrent levels to take down our King so they can rule over the people. And one of the dreams I predicted was all of them being dragged to the military courts. Now I know why people get the death penalty in Great Britain for high treason. Now it all makes sense. It all makes sense. And I'm just hoping and praying that I got to the King in time, because he can stop it with one phone call. And then he saves his life and Great Britain's and the Commonwealth's. But in the meantime, you need to pass this message on, and the link in the description box below. When you click on it, I repeat, when you click on it, scroll down first. And then if you want to see a miracle, scroll up second. God bless you all. You are protected. God is here. The Virgin Mary is here. That's the miracle. Jesus is here. Allah is here. This is a holy war now, people. This is good versus evil. Believers versus sinners. And it was all to bring down the monarchy. All of it. The whole reason they've done this, destroying the economy, turning people against each other, turning Muslims against Christians, it is all to bring down the monarchy. And now they've armed the wrong side. And this is not a joke, and this is not a drill. So I repeat, pass this message on. Click on the link in the description box below and scroll down. God bless you all and God save the King.